I got a text from my wife at 2 a.m. saying she was extending her Paris trip by a week, and my stomach dropped like I just missed a step on a staircase. It wasn't just the late hour or the casual way she dropped it, like she was mentioning a quick grocery run. It was the fact that she didn't call, didn't explain, just sent a breezy message with a heart emoji that felt more like a slap. I sat there in our quiet apartment, staring at her text, the blue light of my phone burning my eyes, wondering how everything I thought I knew about us could feel so shaky in a single moment. I'm Mark, by the way, a 34-year-old graphic designer who thought he had a pretty good life. Married to Claire for 6 years, together for 10, we were the couple everyone envied. High school sweethearts who made it through college, job struggles, and late-night talks about our dreams. We weren't perfect, nobody is, but we had a rhythm. Lazy Sunday mornings with coffee and her terrible attempts at pancakes, binge-watching shows we'd argue over, stealing kisses in the kitchen while the dishwasher hummed. Our apartment in Chicago was small but ours, filled with photos of us hiking in Colorado, laughing at her cousin's wedding, building a life. Claire was a travel writer, always chasing the next story, but she'd always come back to me, her anchor. Or so I thought. Her Paris trip was supposed to be a quick 4-day gig for a magazine, covering some art exhibit. She'd been excited, packing her favorite scarf and joking about eating too many croissants. I'd driven her to the airport, kissed her goodbye, and told her to send me pictures of the Eiffel Tower at night. Only if you promise not to be jealous, she teased, her hazel eyes sparkling. That was 5 days ago. Now her text about staying longer hit me like a warning I couldn't quite read. At first I tried to brush it off. Maybe the magazine extended her assignment. Maybe she got caught up in the city's magic. Paris does that, right? But something gnawed at me. She hadn't called in days, just sent quick texts about being busy. No photos, no updates about the exhibit, just vague replies. I scrolled through our messages, looking for clues, and noticed how hers had gotten shorter, colder. Miss you, I'd written yesterday. Same, she'd replied, no heart emoji, no warmth. I told myself I was overthinking, but my gut wouldn't let it go. The next morning I called her. It went straight to voicemail. Hey Claire, just checking in. Got your text about staying longer, everything okay? Call me when you can. I kept my voice steady, but my hands were shaking. Hours passed, no response. That evening I texted again. Babe, starting to worry. What's going on? Nothing. By midnight I was pacing our living room, the city lights flickering through the window, my mind racing with possibilities. Was she hurt? Lost her phone? Or something else? I don't know why I did it, but I opened her laptop, still logged into her email. We'd always trusted each other. Never snooped. But desperation makes you do things you'd never admit out loud. I searched Paris in her inbox, expecting work emails, maybe flight changes. Instead, I found a thread with someone named Chris. My heart stopped. The subject line was blank, but the emails weren't. Can't wait to see you tomorrow, he'd written 2 days ago. Meet me at the cafe on Rue de Birague. 8 p.m. Wear that red dress. Her reply. Wouldn't miss it. Feels like a dream. My mouth went dry. I scrolled up, reading months of emails, flirty, intimate, full of plans to meet in Paris. Chris was a photographer she'd met on a shoot last year. I remembered her mentioning him casually like he was just a colleague. Now every word felt like a lie. I sat there numb, the laptop screen blurring as my eyes stung. My wife, my Claire, was meeting another man in Paris. The red dress, she'd packed it, said it was for a fancy dinner with the magazine team. I wanted to scream, to throw the laptop across the room. But instead, I just sat there, replaying every moment of our life together, wondering how I'd missed this. The next day she finally called. Her voice was cheerful, too cheerful, like she was trying to sell me something. Hey, sorry I've been MIA. Work's been crazy and I lost track of time. Lost track of time? I said, my voice sharper than I meant. Claire, you're extending your trip a week, and you didn't think to call? She laughed, but it sounded forced. It's just work, Mark. They need me for another feature. I'll be home soon, promise. I couldn't hold it in. Who's Chris? The line went silent. I could hear her breathing, quick and shallow, like she'd been caught stealing. I saw the emails, Claire. The cafe, the red dress, all of it. Who is he? Mark, it's not what you think, she stammered, but her voice cracked and I knew. He's just a friend, a photographer I work with. We were just catching up. Catching up? I snapped. For months? Planning secret meetups in Paris? Don't lie to me. I deserved the truth. She started crying soft sobs that made my chest ache even as I burned with anger. I didn't mean for it to happen, she said. It started as nothing, just talking, but I don't know, Mark. I got caught up. I'm so sorry. Sorry. I laughed, bitter and hollow. 10 years, Claire. We built a life, and you're throwing it away for some guy in Paris? Did you even think about me? I did, I swear, she said, her voice breaking. I love you, Mark. I got lost. I don't know who I am anymore. I hung up. I couldn't listen to her excuses, couldn't bear the way her words twisted the knife. For days I barely slept, barely ate, just sat in our apartment surrounded by her things. Her scarf on the couch, her favorite mug in the sink. Every memory felt tainted, like I'd been living a lie. I thought about calling her back, begging her to come home, but what was the point? She'd made her choice. A week later she came back. I was at the kitchen table when she walked in, her suitcase dragging behind her. She looked tired, her eyes red, but I didn't care. I'm so sorry, Mark, she said, her voice small. I ended it with Chris. I want to fix this. I looked at her, the woman I'd loved since I was 16, and felt nothing but a hollow ache. I don't know if we can, I said. You broke us, Claire. You broke me. She cried, begged, promised to change, but her words felt like echoes of a life that didn't exist anymore. I moved out the next week, crashing on a friend's couch, trying to figure out who I was without her. The heartbreak was raw, like a wound that wouldn't close, but there was something else too. A quiet strength growing inside me. I wasn't ready to forgive, not yet, maybe not ever. But I knew I'd survive this, even if it meant rebuilding my life from scratch. Sometimes, love isn't enough to hold two people together when one of them chooses to walk away. And as I sit here now, staring at the city lights alone, I realize the hardest part isn't losing her. It's learning to trust myself again.